Doctorate students, you need to show a minimum of a bachelor and a master. You need both. Okay, so let's talk about transcripts now. The type of transcripts I need you guys to send to us is official transcripts. If you completed a degree from a U.S. university, okay, it's located here in the United States, you need to call them and say, hey, USC, I need you to send IAU an official transcript. It must be sealed, okay? It can also be electronically sealed, which means they email it to us and they also send us a password to it. But the point is, it cannot go through you. So they can't give you a transcript and say, go give it to IAU, because then it's not official because it went through you, okay? It needs to be mailed directly from USC to us. Cannot pass through anyone on the way except the mailman. Does that make sense? Okay? Some schools also have electronic transcripts, so they're able to email it to us, and then there's a password that we have to enter in order to access it. So that's also applicable as long as it's secure in that sense. Okay? That's if you have an institution here in the US. Okay? Now, we know that if you went to a school, let's say you completed your bachelor's degree in Russia or in France or elsewhere, we know that they don't work that way. Okay? So some schools only give you one copy of your bachelor transcripts for life. If you lose it, that's it. Okay? So we don't take the originals from you. You can come and show us the originals. We will take a photocopy of it and we will notarize it. Okay? Our notary fee is $10. So in addition to the $175, you will have to submit a $10 notary fee if you don't want to give us the originals. Let's say you went to college in China and China gave you 10 transcripts. Okay? You can give us one and you don't have to pay the $10 notary fee. But that transcript must be in English. Okay? If your transcripts are from another country, they're not in English, you need to, again, go get them translated and notarized. Any questions? No questions. Okay. You guys are all very smart. Okay. So if you did your bachelor's, let's say, back home in China, but you did your master's here in USC, you'll have to get your bachelor transcripts from China translated and notarized, and then ask USC to send your transcripts directly to us. Okay? So you guys know what to do, right? Very good. Okay, let's turn it over. Another document we require is your resume. All right. If you don't have a resume, we do on our website have a template for a resume if you guys want to. It's the second document here. If you guys want to go ahead and just fill it out and submit this to us. So this is okay as well if you guys want to use our template, which will take a second to load. English proficiency. Okay. We require English proficiency before you're able to begin your program here. What I'm going to suggest to most of you is if you don't have English proficiency, please take care of this first before you submit any other documents. Because if you don't have this, you can't apply to begin with. Okay? Now, there are a couple of ways that we measure English proficiency. The first way is if you've completed your previous education in English instruction from an accredited university. So if you completed at least 30 units, that's roughly 10 classes or so, at a U.S. institution. Do we require accredited? Okay. We do require an accredited institution. If you don't know what that is, please speak to one of my DSOs. And you must have completed, depending on what program you're applying for, let's just say a B or above. Okay? So if you completed your bachelor's degree at USC, but you got all Fs, it doesn't really count. We don't know if you can speak English because you failed all your classes. So you should have gotten at least a B or above for the MBA program. If you're applying for our associate's program, we accept a C and above. Okay? So if you show us your transcripts, we'll be able to let you know if you've met our English proficiency requirement or not. If you are transferring from a language school, let's say LSI or Harbor downstairs or anything like that, you must have taken a TOEFL or an IELTS exam. If you have not, we do offer one here on campus, okay? Do I have a show of hands who is transferring from a language school? Okay, good. So, there's a resume. Very fast, okay? If you are transferring from a language school, let's take a look at page 12 of your handout, okay? We require a TOEFL exam to be taken or an IELTS if that's a more comfortable test for you. Now, I know rumor has it back in the day that if you completed 750 hours or so of hours at your ESL school, you're going to be able to be admitted here. We no longer have that policy in place. So you must actually take a TOEFL or IELTS exam. Okay. Now, on the left-hand section here, it shows you for an undergraduate degree, okay, associates or the bachelor program, you must meet a 500. So you must obtain a score of a 500 on a TOEFL paper-based test, 71 on internet-based, and if you're taking IELTS, you must get a 6.5. Okay? Oh, sorry, 6.0. 561, 6.0. Does everyone see that? For the MBA program, if you want to apply for an MBA program, you must obtain at least a 530, 71, or 6.5 for each respective test. Okay? For the DBA program, our doctorate program, it's 550, 80, and 6.5. Okay, so depending on what program you're applying for, you do need to get a specific score. For those of you who have not taken a TOEFL exam, on the right-hand side, we do have exams that we hold on campus here. It's every other Friday in the mornings, 9:30 to 12:30, and these are the available test dates, okay? It gives you instructions here. It's a $50 test, who to email to register for this exam. And I would recommend that if you guys don't have English proficiency first, take the test first. If you pass, then apply. Because if you fail this test but you've already paid your $175 non-refundable fee, you might be a little upset because we're not going to give it back to you. Okay? Any questions about English proficiency? Yes?
I saw that it says it for a high school diploma for undergraduate. So I could send like a English proficiency for...
If your high school was in English, yes. Okay?
So for the graduate says you have to have at least a 30 semester hour of credit. What does that mean?
So remember how we talked about you need to get at least 30 units or 10 classes from your previous education if it was taught in English with a C or higher or a B or higher?
Yeah.
That's what it means.
So but for our like previous program last 2 years,
Okay?
the total unit is 27.
27 units.
Yeah, that's our program was. So
Okay. Is it a master's program?
yeah, master's program.
Have you taken a TOEFL test before?
Yeah, when I applied, but before I applied for that school, I took it.
Okay, so we do also expire, even if it's expired, we do accept TOEFL exams that are taken in the past.
Okay.
So go ahead and just submit that.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, as long as you guys have met these scores once upon a time. Okay? Do we have any questions so far?
The next day you have is July 10th.
The last date we have available is, the next date is, yes, July 10th. That's this Friday, if you guys want to take it. If you're not prepared, remember, you guys have until the 17th of August. So please take the next one if you're not quite prepared for the TOEFL exam, which is July 24th. Okay. Now keep in mind, if you do take a TOEFL with us, don't take it too close to August 17th, which is our deadline, because it takes about 10 days to get your score back. Okay? Any questions so far? Is everyone clear on our English proficiency requirement? Yes? Okay, English proficiency requirement. Copy of passport. I do need a valid copy of your passport. Cannot be expired. If, let's say, you lost one and you're getting a renewed passport right now, I just need the receipt from your embassy saying that you lost it and you're getting a replacement one in the mail soon. Copy of bank statements. Okay. If you are a transfer student, we require a minimum of $8,100 to be shown on a bank statement. Okay. If you are an initial or a change of status, I need a minimum of $16,200. Does anyone have a question about that? Okay. So if you have dependents, let's say you have a spouse or children, in addition to the $8,100, you need to show each dependent another $1,000. So let's say I have 4 kids and I'm a transfer student. In addition to $8,100, I also need to show $4,000 more dollars. So my new total is I need to show $12,100. Does that make sense? If I'm a change of status or I'm initial, I'm applying from outside of the US, I need to show a minimum of 16,200 and 2,000 extra per dependent. Okay, so if I have 2 dependents and I'm an initial student, I need to show a minimum of 16 plus 4,000, right? So 20,200 is my new minimum. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, in terms of bank statements, there are certain things that we accept. There are some that are not. I do require bank statements that are liquid, meaning usually a 401k is not liquid. So if you have an employer right now and you have a 401k, you can't just go to your employer and say, can I just pull out $15,000 cash? You can't do that. But a bank account is, right? It's a checkings or a savings account. There are certain exceptions that we do take. We do take tax documents. So let's say you only have 4,000 or 5,000 in your bank now, but you have a pay stub that shows that you actually make 80,000 a year, okay, or so forth, something like that. Does that make sense? So you can ask our DSO specifically about documents for this requirement later, okay. Now, let's say that you, since you're a student, you don't have all 16,200 or all 8,100. You can have what's called a sponsor. Okay? Sponsors can vary from your employer, your spouse, your mom, your dad, uncle, relative, brother, sister, whoever.